I'm sorry if I sound a little dry right now. I'm very sorry if I sound a little dry. Let me try that again. Hi guys, and welcome to the Grounding Podcast. I need to make sure I still give y'all energy regardless of whatever energy I have flowing on me right now. I still need to make sure that I'm giving you guys the energy that y'all deserve to get, right? Um, so hi Caitlin. Oh, Caitlin's always supporting me. I so love it. Thank you, Caitlin. Hello. I was just saying that I need to like make sure I lift up my energy because my energy is a little down right now. So I'm just trying to make sure. Thank you. I just, lift my energy, right? And still give y'all the energy that y'all deserve. Yes, it will get better. Thank you. But what I want to talk about today is kind of like challenging expectations a little bit. But I want to tell you about my day today a little. So I was away at my daughter's school supporting her show. And I woke up and I was like, I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to work out a little bit and go to the sauna. I had like a whole spa day set for myself. I did it. It was very refreshing, right? Like it kind of like helped to distract my thoughts, my mind, just kind of refresh myself a little bit. So I went to the gym with my daughter, and first we went to the machine. She does Pilates, so I let her give me some sessions. Those Pilates sessions are killer. I'm telling you, like people paying for that to get like worked to death is crazy. But it was good. I did some Pilates session and then walked the track a little bit. Then she was like, "Oh, we need to jog the track," so I had to do that. After we did that, did a little rock climbing, and then I went in the sauna, and my daughter went in the sauna too. So she went in the sauna with her clothes on. I'm like, do you know how hot it is in here? You cannot be in here with your clothes on. So anyway, I told her to just leave me in there for 5 minutes. I just wanted some mental space. And it was refreshing. And I got in the pool. Then I went and did a little massage. And so, yeah. The only sucky thing was I didn't get to get my yogurt, y'all, from Tropical Smoothie. My chai oatmeal pudding yogurt. That's my favorite yogurt, guys. And so I didn't get to get it because they're like, oh, we don't sell it enough, so they're stop doing it, whatever that thing is. So I was very mad about that. Like that had really like ruined my day. Then this is where challenge expectation come from. Then I was like, okay, so let me pick another one. Even though I was irritated and I didn't want to pick another one because I wanted that one, right? Like my expectation was to do all of these things, have a little relaxing moment, and then have that yogurt. That was my expectation for the day. And so not having the yogurt, the one little setback, right, threw my entire like day off, right? Because my expectation, that was a main part of my expectation for my day. And so the girl told me to pick another one. I picked another one. Then she's like, oh, sorry, there's no bananas. All our bananas is kind of green right now. And so we can't, unless you want the green banana. Oh, real quick. So, I'm not like a sponsor or anything, but my cousin bought me this wine, my birthday. She bought 2 wines, the one that we drank, and she bought this one. These wines are pretty good, this brand, but I'm quite sure it's dry. But it's not too dry. It's like semi-sweet. Okay, Val, you did that. Normally she drinks dry wine, so I was kind of expecting that it's going to be dry, but that's actually semi-sweet. It's actually good. Anyway, so the girl told me to pick another one. I picked it. There was no bananas. So now I'm like, oh, I don't even want none of this no more. Like, my day is done. It's like ruined now. Um, because my expectations wasn't met. And so my daughter had paid for it. So I'm like, can we just refund it? She's like, well, I don't know how to do that. And then I felt bad for her. She was new and I guess she didn't know how to do that. So I was like, fine, I'll just take that other one, put strawberries instead. Just put a lot of Nutella to like. So I say that to say, sometimes we have expectations of ourselves, expectations from people that we're surrounded by, expectations even of our day, even of something simple like that today for me, right? Like my expectation was to work out and go have my chai oatmeal pudding, which is my favorite one, and that would just be like an awesome day for me. But because that one part of my expectation didn't work out, I neglected all the other good things that happened to my day. And I want us to be more challenging to our expectations in our lives, right? And try to understand that we're all humans, and yes, we all have expectations, but also understand that the same way you as a human fail at things, so does other humans, right? Like, other people are going to disappoint you. They're going to not do things the way you expected them to. They're not going to show up the way you expect them to sometimes, And even when that does happen, try to look back at when they did show up, the things that they did do, you know, and hold to that a little stronger than the things that they didn't do or didn't say, because the same way you fail, we do too. And so that made me think of, that's what I want to talk about today, because we carry expectations, even if we say we don't. Like, I've asked somebody before, like, so what your expectation is of this relationship? And they're like, I don't have any expectations. And I'm like, that's a lie. That's not true. That's actually incorrect. Very incorrect. I'm trying to make sure my clip didn't fall. I'm like, yeah, that's actually not correct. There's no way you don't have any expectation. Like, you have some kind of expectation. Like, you expect me to be honest. You expect me to be faithful if we're in a relationship. So don't say there's no expectation. Everything carry expectation. Everything in life carry expectation. Even your job. Like, you work, your job expect you to do your work, right? Like, they hire you expecting you to do the job, expecting you to do what you're supposed to do. So everything carry expectations. The thing is, when we fail those expectations, right? And even though you fail it, do you then consider the entire thing a failure? Right? Or should you then consider the entire thing a failure? Or should you say, you know what? This is just an expectation I had of this person, and they might have failed at this, but does that make the entire thing a failure, or them wholly a failure? I don't think so. And so I think we should be more challenging to our expectations of like, okay, this is what I wanted out of this. Like, when this happened, what I expected was this. I expected these people to do this, or this is the expectation I had. And even though it's disappointing, right, when we don't get the expectation that we're looking for, thinking back, whatever or whoever it is that disappointed you, did they do things that was undisappointed before, outside of this one disappointing thing or two disappointing things, because we're going to fail many times. And try to not focus on the time that they didn't do that one thing or ask that one thing, you know, because sometimes we create our own stress. And that's so true, because I'm a victim of that. Sometimes we definitely create our own stress. Because I do that. And there's times where I'm an overthinker. I overthink a lot. Like, I overthink a lot, and sometimes I pay too much attention to like people actions and behavior, and because I do that, it then leads me to think that what I'm overthinking about is correct when it's not. It's not correct. It's just that I'm overthinking, and because I'm not sharing what I'm overthinking with the person, then when they react to something or they do something, I'm like, yeah, see, that's exactly what I thought. Look what they doing. Like, see, and that's not the case. So sometimes we create our own stress, right? You create situations that don't exist because we're thinking too much on it, and we're thinking too much on what we expected or what we was looking forward to that didn't show up that way. And so sometimes we just need to process, right? And it's okay to like take time to process, you know. And it's okay to have your emotions, as I always say. I mean, you can go back to my first podcast or many podcasts where I repeat the same thing. Like, it's okay to have your moment. Just don't dwell in it. Because, as I said, all of that creates your own problem that you could have not created. Something I told myself yesterday, I made a solid decision that I am done trying to show people what they think I am that I'm not. Did I say that right? Let me rephrase that. So I'm the type of person, like, if I know that my intent for something, or something I said, or something I did, or I know that, okay, or someone just perceived, like, I'll give you a perception that people think of me all the time. A lot of times I might get in a relationship and a person might think like they have to like do the most. And I'm really simple. I'm a really simple gal. I am truly a really simple girl, and but sometimes people look at me and they perceive the opposite, right? And then I have to keep explaining to them, like, or trying to show them, like, see, this is not, you know, like, yes, I might have this or do that, but I did it all by the grace of God. Like, God blessed me and did these things. Like, that's how I am where I am. Without Him, I wouldn't be there. And that's the absolute truth, guys. Like, seriously. Yeah, I get smiley when I talk about Him. But people sometimes perceive differently. And I would try to like explain them to them, like, no, like, if you just pray, and I'm like breaking it down, explain it. I decided I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not doing that anymore because that takes a lot of energy. And if if a person already think of you in a certain light, it's kind of hard to get them to unthink of you in that light, right? Um, if they're not taking the time to actually get to know you. And that takes time. Like, that takes a lot of time. So that came from, again, expectations as well. Like, I was talking to my friend. She's actually going to be on my podcast soon. She wanted to be on there today, but I told her no because the topic was a little sensitive, and I think she should wait before she come and talk about what she wants to talk about. I think she needs a little more time. I'm not going to tell y'all what the topic is. It is very interesting. Um, it has to do with like abuse and some things that happen. So um, I told her to just give it some time before she talks about it, because yes, it's juicy for my podcast. It's good stuff. But at the end of the day, I'm not the type of person that is like, oh yeah, views, likes, I care about people and helping people. And I wouldn't be helping her to like push her to do something knowing that, okay, I know that you're not ready, even though you feel like you are and you want to do it with me. And I would love that, to have that to put on my show. But is that right for you? I can't do that. It's just not who I am. So anyway, as I was saying, so we was talking about something, and she was talking to me about that same thing I just said I'm not going to do anymore. She was like, I feel like, you're the one person that I can talk to that I get a result from. That's what she was saying to me. We live far away from each other, like 2 hours away. And so I don't see her often. But when I do see her, I try to check on her. How you doing? What's going on? A lot of times I don't really have the time to talk. And every time we try to, we never really get to sit down and talk, right? Like, to catch up, really. But I'm definitely going to do that with her soon. But when I do talk to her and she do share a little with me, I try to give her as much feedback as I can, like positively, right? And so she was telling me like, yeah, you're the one person that I can say I talk to that I get a positive response from, right? And she told me she's struggling because she has a friend, and the friend she talks to, that's supposed to be her friend, every time she talks to this person, it's like problems being poured on her, right? Like, she's not getting nothing out of it. So, and she's trying to explain herself. And then the person will bring up things, right? They will bring up things that happened a long time ago that she forgot about, but they're bringing it up after it already happened. And she's kind of like me in the sense of, and I guess it's a good and a bad thing, because some people look at that as bad. Like, if something's wrong or I have a problem, I like have to say it. Like, if something's bothering me, it's like I struggle to like hold it in because it consumes me. And the more I hold it in and it consumes me, then I start to like formulate stories, and like my overthinking go in like overdrive. And then I'm like, I done told myself this is what it is, and then I make a decision off of it, which is not good. Okay, so I try to, if I really care about you, then if something's in my thought, I try to share it with you. One, to like confirm or deny if what my thoughts are correct. And two, to like let you know, like, okay, this is what I'm thinking because I saw this, and this is what's creating this thought. The issue is when you have someone that you share that with and they're not like understanding to it, right? So what she was sharing with me is that that's how she is, which that's how I am. So the friend that she's talking about, they're not like that. So what was happening was the girl was having a problem with something she was doing. The girl never told her. So then she didn't know, right? Because we're not psychics. So we don't know how you're feeling and how you're thinking if you don't share it. So she never told her. And so apparently they were talking about something, and she got mad and started telling her, well, you did this day and I didn't like that, and you did this day. And so it was like it became like an overwhelming situation for her. And so she was like, yeah, she's like, I don't think I want to be her friend anymore because I didn't like that, blase blase blase. So I said to her, I understand that's negative, and I understand it made you feel the way it made you feel, because you're not like that, right? So then now, what's happening is you're having the expectation of her to react the way you react, but she's not doing that because she's not you. So she's not going to do what you do. That's the way she handled things. Now, what you need to do is tell her, like, listen, if there's a problem for me, you need to tell me that there's a problem. Don't wait and then tell me, because then what occurs is I keep doing the same thing, not knowing that it's bothering you. And so I said that to her, and she was like, I get it, but I just feel like we just shouldn't be friends anymore. Because if she's holding all these things, what else is she holding, and what else has she done because of these feelings? True, granted, valid point. Valid point. And valid feelings to have. Feelings are always valid, right? They're valid, doesn't make them fact, right? So I said to her, okay, that's a valid feeling, but is that a fact? Is that a fact that she's done something? Like, is that a fact? She's like, no. So I'm like, okay. So how about if you value the friendship, have a discussion with her before making a decision to just disconnect from her. And so she said, okay, I'm gonna try that, Ty. I'm gonna try that. That's how I like talking to you. I'm gonna try that. So yeah, definitely try it, because that's just the expectation you had. You had the expectation for her to react like you, and so when she didn't react like you, now you're upset because why? You're like, why did she do that? Noted your feeling of feeling that way is valid, but she's reacting like herself, and I don't know what you were showing her to make her feel like she couldn't come to you in the first place and say something. Because how you are with me may not be how you are with her, right? We're two different people. Like, you might be comfortable coming to me and saying, Ty, such and such and such, but you might not be as comfortable with her, right? It's two different energy space that you're dealing with. So, it goes back to what I say. Sometimes we need to challenge our expectation and don't really, it's okay. We all have expectation, right? We all expect things. We all do. I don't care what nobody say. Everybody has expectation. But the issue is, I'm sorry, I was reading something. Someone was writing up there. The issue is, what we do with these expectations. Like, are we taking them and making them a reality, or are we saying, okay, this is what I expected them to do, they didn't do it, I'm disappointed that they didn't do it, but it doesn't make them a bad person, doesn't make them just everything else just invalid, because the expectation we had wasn't fulfilled the way we wanted it to be fulfilled, right? And because I struggle with that too. Like, I told you that I mess up all the time because I see the potential in people, and sometimes I put potential over act. Does that make sense? Like, so I see what you could be and where you can go in your life. And if I feel like I can help you progress to there, I have no problem doing so. So if I see potential in a person, sometimes I will invest my time and energy in them because I see the potential in them. Like, I'm not looking at what is there right now, because, or what was there before, because past is to stay in the past, right? You can't move someone forward if we're still holding on to it. And sometimes we hold on to our past more than we think other people are. We're the ones holding ourselves more accountable than we're thinking other people are. And so I try not to focus on that. I try to focus on what you're trying to show me you're trying to do now. And because I do that, sometimes it screws me because I'm like, okay, well, this person did this, but I know they're trying to do that. And sometimes that screws me over, but I'm never like disappointed about it because it's life. And I always try to focus on, yeah, I had this expectation of, because potential is seeing someone's potential other than what they are is an expectation in a sense. And so I always look at, okay, what did I learn from this? What did I gain from this? And what do I need to change? Right? Not for next time, because I'm done with next times. There's no next times for me. Anyway, we're not talking about me personally. But I try to look at like, what did I learn? What can I get from this? Like, what did God want me to see? Right? What was he trying to show me? And so I just want to come on here and just tell you all my grounding podcast about my day, of course, and just try to challenge your expectations to not be so expectant of them. If that makes sense, right? Like you can have your expectation in your head, like I feel like this is what should happen, or this is the direction I feel like I want to go, or I want to go in this direction, I want to go in this path. Oh, I'm working on that, guys. Like that. But challenge them to, like, if they don't go in that direction and they don't go in that path, do I then be upset with that person because I had that expectation? Or do I be not upset with myself, but like challenge myself to view it in a different light, or challenge my expectation to what I expected to associate it with what they're showing? Make sense? I hope I make sense. Because today I felt like I sucked at making sense today. Today was a suck at making sense day for me. Yeah, but yeah, so that's what I think we should do. Like, try to like have the expectation, but challenge them so if they don't go the way you expect them to, you can go back to those expectations and like, reformulate them with what is actually being shown to you. Or how do I fix this? Because I expected this, I didn't get this. How do I let that person know that this is what I expected and it wasn't given to me, and now I'm feeling this way? And that's another thing. Sometimes people are like, oh, you don't need to, because this is something my friend Leah tells me. Leah tells me this all the time. I'm trying to say it. I'm going to just abbreviate the curse word. You always feeling something. F your feelings. That's what she always saying to me. I feel like F your feelings. Feelings are meant to be had. It doesn't make them fact, as I say. But you should share them. I don't think you should have them and keep them to yourself. Because one, they eat you alive. And then you eventually make them facts because you're holding on to them that long. So we should be mindful of all of that, Please, let's be mindful of that. Not F your feelings like Leah said, but have them, but know that they're not fact. They're just based off your emotions and what you feel like is what's shown to you and how you're taking it, what's being seen. But it doesn't necessarily make them true. So I feel like you should, I would say you should share them, because then that person will never know that you're feeling that way. They're not going to know if you're just feeling that way and holding it to yourself. Like, closed mouth don't get fed. Is that what my mom tell me all the time? Closed mouth don't get fed. If you don't talk, I'm going to know. That's what she'll say to me. And some conversations are difficult to have, right? And especially based on the person and whether you can talk to them or not. Um, but better to have them than to not have them. You know, like, better it be said than not be said, and then you're holding that inside, and now you have a whole theory or a whole, like me, rabbit hole, because I do that. I do that rabbit hole thing, you know. I always tell people when I'm in relationships, don't leave me to my thoughts, because once you leave me to my thoughts and I start thinking something, and if I'm thinking it and I can't say it to you, I do that rabbit hole thing. And I know I do it. So sometimes I'll stop myself. Sometimes I'll call Leia and I'll be like, I need you. Like, I'm having one of these moments, and when I have them, I have to try to stop myself because I'll react on them. And so I'll call her or my therapist, which I need to get my therapist changed from where she was. So I know I need to refine her. I need to remember that. And I'll just get myself out of that rabbit hole. And again, therapy is a good thing. It's a great thing. You know, like, it helps you recognize you, and it helps you get things off your chest and teaches you how to deliver things. Like, if you don't know how to deliver them, they'll help you, tell you how to deliver things that might be sensitive for you. Because I remember I had to do that when I was going through something with my son. And so I had to go through that, like, have a therapy session and ask him that I want to do therapy with him so we can resolve what was going on. And a lot came out of that, a lot. And I respected it. And yeah. So I think sometimes people like question therapy. Sorry, I'm gonna pour me a little bit more. Sometimes people like question therapy and question the benefit of it, especially men. And it's not a bad thing. It's actually a really good thing, and it's helpful and a productive thing to do. So I really encourage therapy. I always do. Yeah. So again, challenging expectation, guys. Try to do more of that, right? Have your expectation. There's one piece of hair keep coming down. Have your expectation, but because we all have them, right? So have your expectation, but when a person doesn't perform on that expectation, don't just disregard the whole thing, you know, because they did good things at some point. And so try to remember those things, and then address the expectation you had. Like, you know, because we carry expectations, but like a job, the job tells you this is our expectation. When you sign your offer letter, and you read your job descriptions, it tells you everything that they expect you to do. But the difference is, when you're dealing with each other, there's no contract. There's no offer letter. There's no job description that with everything written down of what you expect. Even in a relationship, you might say, I expect this, this, and this, right? But that changes based on that person, right? Even with a job sometimes. A lot of jobs now, I know, I write job descriptions. So a lot of jobs, they'll put on there, and other duties as requested. Why? Because as company grows and things evolve and growth happens, things change. When things change, expectations change. So it's the same concept with us as humans and people, right? Like, we might have these expectations of a person, but as things change and time go, you might not get the same responses or things you expected happen to occur because things have changed, right? Throughout the years or throughout the time. So then the expectation might have been adjusted some, right? I mean, they might have adjusted some, which now doesn't acute doesn't resonate well with the expectation that you had. I hope that makes sense. So just remember that. Like, like you might carry an expectation, but that person might not be aware of the expectation that you carried, of what you expected from them. And so it's good to share that, and not burden yourself with that, because you're kind of harming yourself in a sense with something that they're not aware of. You might have expected that, but they don't know that. They don't know unless you speak. So it goes back to my tropical smoothie conversation, like I went in tropical smoothie. I expected that this morning, and my whole day was planned out that way. It didn't happen the way I wanted because of the whole oatmeal chai pudding. I'm still mad about that. I really love that oatmeal chai pudding, guys. And so because I didn't have that, and then they had no bananas, and I really was looking forward to that with my Nutella. And so my whole day was ruined. But why? Because I had that one thing that was missing from the expectation that I had for my day. And so I just thought to myself, okay, my day was already a little off from before. And this is what I planned to, like, relax my mind and relax myself for the day. And then this happened, and now it's like, oh, it's just done. But what about the rock climbing? What about the sauna? What about the pool? What about the Pilates that I did? Like, those were all relaxing and fun. I got to do all of that. But that one expectation that didn't get fulfilled, like, depleted, I'm trying to find the right word, all of the other good things. So let's try to challenge our expectations so that when things change, we can adjust our expectations according to the change, right? So that's what I wanted to talk about. All from me not getting my chai oatmeal pudding. Because I was so mad about that. And my daughter was like, Mom, you just expected to have that oatmeal pudding, but you just did all that rock climbing. You just did all that Pilates. You just ran the track, walked the track. You got to get your sauna. That's what I really wanted, was my sauna. Oh. And I had my sauna moment. I went inside the pool, cooled off, went and did my massage. Great day. She said, you did everything else you wanted, and just the chai pudding, just everything is just done. And I'm like, you're right. It was an expectation that I had. I expected it to go smoothly and everything to go well. And when it didn't go the way I expected it to, I forgot about all the good things. Not forgot, but it wasn't relevant at the time. So sometimes we should do the same thing with each other as people. Like, we might have an expectation of something, but try to remember what they did do outside of what you expected. So yeah. So my daughter said that to me today. And I told her, I said, you know what? I told my friend that I'm not going to have her do the podcast. And I was like, what am I going to talk about today? And I said, you know what? This is a good example of talking about expectations today. And that's what I'm going to talk about today. And then many other things happened that was like, yeah, I do need to talk about expectations today. But I already was driving, thinking to myself, okay, I'm going to talk about expectations today. Let me hurry up and get home, get on this podcast, and talk to everybody, because I came here late because I was rushing back. And it was raining, guys, so hard. And yeah, I could barely see. But I made it by the grace of God. So thank y'all for being here and joining us today. Well, joining me today on the Grounding Podcast. Again, this wine is not bad. Thank you, Val. Cuzzo, this is not bad at all. I thought it was dry, like you. No, I'm joking. I thought it was dry. She's gonna love that. She's gonna get a ball about me saying that just now. Y'all saw her on the last session. I thought it was dry, but it's actually semi-sweet. Look, reading is fundamental, guys. It literally says semi-sweet right here. But I didn't read it. I just was having a day, so I didn't read it. But yeah, it's pretty good. Not bad. I'm gonna finish this glass, and this is gonna be here for probably like the next month. So next podcast session is gonna be this wine. You know, I don't finish the bottles. I can't. It's just like, you know, I'm not a come home drink every day. I can't do it. So next session, I'll probably have this bottle. Most likely, like the last one. So thank y'all for joining. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow if you have not already. There goes that piece of hair again. Like, subscribe, and follow if you have not already. Share. Sharing is free. Liking is free. Subscribing is free. Following is free. So let's do it, guys, because it's free. Okay? It doesn't cost nothing to do it. So go ahead and share, follow, like, and subscribe. And hopefully you get something out of this. That's my whole point, right? I tell y'all all the time. My goal is to share so someone can get something out of what I'm doing or what I'm saying or my topics. That's the whole purpose of why I do it. That's my goal. So don't forget, okay? Like, share, subscribe, and follow. And what I'm going to say, stay grounded. Thank y'all. Love you guys.